Hey, I'm Mitchell Davis, a Laravel developer.
G'day, I'm Gavin founder, co-founder, sales and marketing from SixSides. Welcome.
You really got to work on that.
We didn't do our 30-second pitch. I didn't work on it.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Next time.
we'll try.
Uh,
Let's do it. We'll do it later. What are we doing the podcast for, mate?
This is awful. We're
No,
gonna read. No,
why?
this is it's pandemonium.
Mate, it's fine. When you put the background music in, it sounds sweet. Like that's part of our charm. I do have to say, before the show started, you had an alcoholic drink just to get you through.
Yeah, 9 a.m.
Yeah.
9:08 a.m. on a Monday, and I'm chugging. If you must know. All right, look.
Technically, it's a yes, right?
Technically, it's dichlorobenzyl alcohol. All right, 580 nanograms per spray, and I had 2 of them. So for those that aren't on YouTube, this is a Strepsils throat spray thing because I've been a little under the weather, and Gavin caught me, chugging something.
Potato, mate. Still alcohol. I think we will need to set this up. Set up an intervention. I'll get Nicole on a call and we'll have a. Yeah,
I think we might need to next time. Anyway, look, after this enormously chaotic intro, we are building SixSides, and it's an event platform to help you grow your community. It's a mobile app, it's a website. What isn't it, at this point?
Doesn't cook your dinner.
Well,
Not
maybe
yet.
next week. Yeah, I'm working on it, trust me. Mate, how you going?
Good. We've had we've had 2 big milestones we hit this week. One for me, one for you.
Oh yeah.
Anyone who's been following along, we submitted the grant submission last week. It was really good. I actually
For
put
our
it into
hopeful 100K of funding.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's a big deal. Forget this.
I put in I asked ChatGPT to assess it, and it gave it a 9 out of 10 quality score, which was pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
Yeah, so it said it was very good. I said a lot more than that. Actually, it was strong, compelling application that ticks nearly all the boxes for a successful Ignite Ideas fund submission. So, we've put our best foot forward. I think we have, and if we're lucky enough, fantastic. If not, we'll survive.
Yeah.
I will survive. Yeah.
Yep, that's right. We'll see. So apparently we won't hear until you're saying December.
Yeah, something like that. Well, they said they're going to release it in December. There was a timeline somewhere I need to have a look at, but it definitely won't be for a couple of months.
Yeah,
Right.
cool.
They
All
are
right.
not fast, right? It's not a grant to help you survive, right?
No.
It's not a natural disaster.
And they don't
grant.
want to fund those businesses that are right on the brink either. So,
No.
So no.
that's right.
But yeah, we'll keep you posted. So that was huge. You did really well, and
you,
really
mate?
excited.
What's your big news?
Big news is we have put the app up for review. So the final
Awesome.
production build of the app is now, it's not final. There will be a million more releases of this over the next few years.
Yep.
But the version that we are shipping to Laravel Live Denmark has now gone up for review in the app stores. So I will be submitting the Android version to the Play Store today. But we've officially got the iOS version up in the hands of the reviewers. So hopefully that will go through pretty soon. And then anyone that's out there that's going to attend Laravel Live Denmark, if you happen to be listening to this as well, you'll be able to get in and download the app and get your profile set up and get yourself all ready.
Congratulations, mate. Well done. I know that was stressful.
Yeah.
And you got it done, which was an amazing feat. So I think I don't know if this will come through. This deserves a bit of the.
Do.
I can't.
Excellent.
Yep. We might get flagged for copyright there.
I
Because we
think
have
we
such
will.
a massive listener base.
It's worth it though.
Yeah, it is.
Funny you bring that up. We'll get back to the app in a minute, but literally, have you seen the movie Speed with Keanu and?
Of course. Who hasn't?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's a classic, right?
Yeah.
And so I was Nicole and I were like looking for movies to watch last night while we were having dinner. And then I had in the back of my head, I was like, oh, we should watch Speed. We found it on Disney, I think it is.
Okay.
We watched it. It's a classic. It's what a great movie. And there's like when the bus makes the jump over the gap and somehow magically the bus gets like some vertical airtime. It's ridiculous. The whole movie's so stupid, but great movie. At the end of that, it popped up with like related movies or whatever. And can you guess the first movie that came up?
Gone in 60 seconds.
Gone in 60 seconds. And I was like, Nicole, this is probably one of my favorite movies ever. It just holds like a real spot in my heart. So I was like, we're watching this tonight.
And she hasn't seen it. She hasn't seen Gone in 60 Seconds.
She hasn't seen it. No.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
so anyway, we're going to correct that tonight.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
I can report back. Just funny timing. But thank you. I look, I appreciate it, and I will relive that great movie experience tonight when I watch the full thing. So
yeah. You should be proud, mate, because I know you've been stressed.
Yes.
You know, it's a hard... What I keep going back to when we almost promised an app for another event a couple of months ago. I'm glad that didn't come off because I don't know what would have happened there.
Oh, it would have been awful. So yes, I'm really pleased with where we've got the app to. It delivers on everything that Denmark is expecting. There were some things that were kind of in like a nice to have bucket, which I wasn't able to get in time, and that's okay. We've met all of our commitments to Denmark, and I know that we'll continue to evolve it. Like I'm already thinking about, okay, can we release further updates between now and then? Just to like, are there any other features or things that we can add to just kind of get in? Because not only just for Denmark, but it also gives us like really good data of like actually testing our hypotheses and does this feature resonate, and do people like this and whatever, so this is like this is our very first opportunity to test with real attendees. So yeah, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to working on some of that stuff over the next few weeks in between now and Denmark, but I can now take the foot off the gas, and I found it quite difficult actually over the weekend to get in and just like finish out any of these last parts that needed to be done, because I'm really like, I'm feeling super burnt out. This was a huge slog to get this done.
Yeah.
So really looking forward to just chilling out a little, but still working on this in the background. So.
Yeah. No, it's good. And do you feel like a sense of relief? Like
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel really excited. I can't wait for these attendees to get in and use the app. I can't wait to see all the photos that get taken, and like I'm really looking forward to it getting used, which is always like with software that I've built in the past, there's sometimes like you might, for example, I built a website called Laramates. Laramates.com, and it's like a Laravel developer directory. And I was so worried the whole time I was building it. Like, is anybody actually going to use this thing? Does anybody care? And turns out like people did care. I got a couple hundred signups on it, which was awesome. But there's always that like, is this actually going to be worth doing? And knowing that, okay, I think Denmark has between 200 and 300 people going to their conference. Hopefully we'll get at least half of them. If Laracon AU is anything to go by, I think we got 75% of all attendees downloaded the app and logged in. So hopefully we'll get some similar numbers. Like it feels great to know, okay, just by virtue of the software, these people are going to use this. That feels really good,
It's easy, like in my experience, it's easy to implement software. The hardest thing is the change management, right? It's getting people to, getting them to like building it. Obviously it's been difficult to do, but the change management of forcing or directing people to that, like is where we'll have to support Laravel, the team there to actually help them do that. Because otherwise people just default back to their natural way, right? If they've been to that event for the last few years, they would have survived without an app. And they're like, why do we need one? I already know everything. So it's about encouraging them. getting the team to encourage them and setting up situations during the event so they push them into that app or encourage them into the app to take photos and that kind of stuff. So I can. It's a massive milestone. It's a massive milestone, and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's I'm just glad that this part is done, and then now move on to the next bit. So
Yep.
yeah. Anyway,
All right, that's good. Mate, it's your turn to surprise me this week. Last week when you were reading through the submission, you were saying that 75% to 25% in founder salary.
Salaries, yeah. I think it was 20/80 actually. But
20, yeah, 80/20 is probably what most people are familiar with.
Well, 20 for me, 80 for you.
Yeah, fair enough. But your turn to surprise me. During the week, I was looking through my email on the weekend actually, and had a look. And I was like, $6,000 invoice. What the fuck is that? Yep. And then I realized, obviously, your side business, your other business, is invoicing us for one of your employees. But I was surprised. Right. I was like, holy shit, there goes 60% of everything that we've made, right?
Yep.
Yep.
That's right. And so I wish that we didn't have to do that, and that I was able to just get all of the work done myself, and then, there's no cost there, but unfortunately it just wasn't able to happen. And yeah, it did feel a bit like funny, of just like, okay, wow, this is a pretty significant invoice at our scale, for this business.
Yeah.
It felt a bit shitty, to be honest with you, invoicing that amount, and now instantly the bank account's chopped in half, but it is what it is. We needed that help, and it's something that you and I had agreed on, that, okay, we're just going to engage and get some help, and it costs what it costs. And ultimately that, there's no margin or anything like that on those costs there. That's just raw what it's costing me as the employer. So yeah, I've done everything I can there to try and keep that down as low as possible. But yeah, it is a bit, it's like, whew, it's a lot, but hopefully that should be the last time that we need to hire Chris, which is a bit sad to say, because I'd love having him work on the code base, but I just think, okay, it might not be sustainable until we pick up some more revenue, So anyway, the only reason we needed Chris's help was to help us with this deadline, right? So now from here, the next deadline, quote unquote, is in November. So there's a world of time for any other future things that we might have committed to or whatever. So I will be taking my foot off the gas, but by no means am I stepping away and work is done on this thing. There's a heap more to do. And we've now got even more time to do it,
I don't see that as our money anyway, to be honest, in the bank. I think that's just the cost of, we just read it, we need it, we will and will redeploy that plus more when we need to, right? So I don't see us drawing a wage or taking any money from here for a long time. So that kind of, at the moment for me, it's kind of feeling the pinch a little bit, because I've transitioning away. Well, I've built another platform for my other business, Deal Buddy, right? So there's a transition into software which is completely different to service providing, right? Because the margin is, or not the margin, the rate is so much more when you're billing hours than it is for software. And so even for us in our family, I've got monthly expenses that we need, everything I do is first and foremost is so we can survive, and then everything else on top of that. And I'm like, we're having a look in our family and going, how do I switch over? So a lot of my time at the moment is for Deal Buddy, which is trying to get people up and running onto that as quick as I can. But because it's only an MVP, not an MVP, it's past that now, but I don't want to take on, it's not ready to scale yet, because if anything goes wrong, I've got to be able to help people. But currently we're feeling the pinch, funding, trying to fund our lives, but build two businesses. It's a challenge, right? So we've got, it is tricky. I think you had this same problem not 3 months ago. Remember when you said you're having a challenge, and I was okay, and I was like, it's going to inverse here Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. And it's it's starting to inverse with us.
It's
Yep.
ebbs and flows for sure. Like it would honestly, it would be great if SixSides, if we were able to get some more paying customers in,
Yep.
in the next few months, and then we are able to draw down even just a little bit from it. I know
Yep.
the plan is to reinvest back most of the revenue that we make,
Yep.
but we are spending a significant amount of time on this business. Like
Yep.
it would be good. It would be handy and helpful
Yep.
to be generating some money from all of this effort, right?
Sure. That's it. Yeah. That's there's a couple of things that come into my mind right then. Is I think that is absolutely something we have not discussed about. Hey, let's aim for because we haven't figured out our pricing. I think we're getting close to it now. Like honestly, I think we're getting close to it. We want to help businesses over the longer term, not just an event. So it's not a per event pricing. It's more over a yearly subscription.
Yep.
I'm investigating helping businesses. So if anyone's listening to this and they are a business and they go out and they kind of do marketing events, like they might be doing a barbecue with clients, or they might be going to an event, and they do events and SixSides isn't there. If they're interested in working with us on a pilot, like a pilot or a case study, I've got one other client in mind, please reach out to us at Journey. I would love to work with you, and it won't cost you anything. But I think there's a way, there's a probably another revenue stream where we could help businesses build awareness for their business, right?
Yeah.
And help them achieve, and it would dovetail into events eventually. But if that is someone that is listening and they do want to talk about that, reach out, and I'm happy to have a conversation, see if we can help you and run you as a live case study and keep you, if you want to be part of the podcast, keep you updated. Side note, that was a digression, but maybe we sit down and go, okay, well, what does that look like if we get to 10K a month or something like that? Like, do we want to take out a couple of $1,000 a month just to relieve our.
Because I mean, certainly that would help, as far as mortgages and things go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every $100 at the moment helps, right, per month.
Yeah.
So,
maybe we should think about. Are you still listening to the Build Your SaaS podcast?
I am, but I haven't listened to it. I forgot. It fell out of my habit. I forgot. I have habits of what I listen to, and I forgot that I started listening to. So yes, I'll go back to listen to them. Yeah.
It's to be clear, it's fine if you haven't. But if you do continue, there's a part where they start talking about. I'll have to do a little research to get all the right names and stuff, but of basically like divvying up, no matter how much revenue you're making at the moment, assigning like certain percentages. Okay, we can have 25% go towards our like ongoing infrastructure expenses of, let's say we're making $100 a month or something like that. Well, we've got $25 then that we can spend on servers and stuff.
Sure.
Then we've got 50% that goes towards salaries, and then, 20% or whatever, it goes towards taxes and right? So kind of that's something that they used early on in the transistor .fm journey, and they documented that on the Build Your SaaS podcast. And maybe that would be an interesting exercise for us to sit down and go through. We won't do it today because clearly we're not prepared yet, but maybe we can talk about that next week, because it would be really interesting to see how we both feel about this. I am serious about wanting to reinvest back into this business, so that we can try and grow it as quickly as we can. But at the same time, I also want to make some money.
Well, we have to support ourselves, right? We are bootstrapping, so we're not taking on funding, so we have to be able to support. And if we're always, so I've heard this somewhere before, if we're always worrying about money, then that will be our focus of our attention. But if we're comfortable, we don't have to be rich. I don't have to be rich. I have a number every month. That's our break-even point. We're probably going to have to lower that a little bit. But as long as I get to that, and I know that we're building something, I'm fine. And that's, and as long as I'm aware with that, because if I'm worried, and if Mel's worried, then our house is worried. Our house is not comfortable. So we just have to get to that point, and then everything else is okay. And certainty. Like every month we can't be you
Yeah.
know, and that's
Can't be.
unpredictable. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I,
Exactly.
I agree on that. And because a lot of it, I think it should be a certain proportion should go to like obviously marketing and getting our name out there, right? And the
Yeah.
same as, but most importantly, we have to be able to keep the lights on with infrastructure with your side of the fence. So yeah, I think it's a really good exercise to think about. And
Yeah.
as we go down, and then once we do that, then I'll go, okay, let me form a plan on how to get there, right? And then you're like, how do we support to get there? So
Yeah.
we have that structure. Yeah, that makes sense for sure.
Well, Roman will love this if he ends up listening to this. Roman, our accountant, Roman Galikov. Yeah, us sitting here talking about budgets and stuff like that, how much we're going to assign
Yeah.
of our revenue. So yeah, let's do that next week.
Yep, sure.
All right, cool. I just I keep coming back to the thought that we are now so close to being ready to go
Yep.
for like general use, right?
Yep.
So right now, the app's ready and hopefully that'll get approved today and be up in the app store and whatever. But you're right, we need the dashboard side of things as well because we can't configure every event. As soon as that's done, like this, this is ready to go. We are
Yep.
almost there. And to be honest with you, with a little bit of manual work on my side to set up an event and add some attendees and things like that, we're probably talking less than an hour of
Yep.
manual work, and I could have an event set up that could run tomorrow.
Yep. Sure.
Or like same day. Like we're
Yep.
there.
Yep. But that doesn't. That's great. But if we want to help people run meetup, we can't be spending an hour on many different meetups, right? We have to be able to facilitate that.
Exactly. Yeah. The work has to be done to be able to
Yep.
have people self-service,
Sure.
create their own events and things like that. Yes,
Yep.
that work has to be done. But
Sure.
it doesn't have to be done for us to have an event tomorrow, if we needed to.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a bit of a wow, okay, we're there.
Yep.
This has been almost, well, when was Laracon was in November, and I probably started working on the early version in like July or August last year. So it's been a full 12 months.
Yep.
And now this is finally ready to go for any event.
For no money, right? So
No, not for no money.
no, you haven't been paid for it.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
So
that's an interesting thing because now we're starting to move into not far away from moving into the business development phase, right?
yeah.
So, one of the things that I've done, been thinking about, especially for my other business, but also here it applies to here, is what is our vision, mission, and values? Because I think that's really important. I think we have we have an unstated.
Just needed a top up, mate.
Yeah.
I guess I better keep that long-winded intro in, or otherwise this won't make any sense. I took another shot of dichromal alcohol or whatever.
Yeah. Metho, as it's known in some circles. So I think we are aligned on our vision and our mission and our values. Yes. I think we have slightly different values on what's important, but they're not stated. And I think what we need to do is work on now what those values are, like what all those three things are. And what I mean by that is, where I think our values are slightly misaligned is the only one that I can think of is speed of answer to customers. Sometimes you get into your head, like you're into your mindset and nothing can shift you out of it. And you have a task list or you're trying to maintain it. And I get it. You're a details person. You need to stay into the details, but I'm completely customer, try to go back as quick as I can to a customer.
But we talked about this though, that like you were feeling, I forget exactly the context, but it wasn't that long ago that you were feeling like really spread thin across a bunch of different things, and that like you just have to focus sometimes on just one thing and ignore everything else, right?
I do.
So that's to the extent that I'm not sure I agree that I would like ignore a customer.
No. No,
No?
I don't think you do. That's not what I mean. But
Right.
anyway, whatever that is, we just have to get more. I think we should work on our
Sure.
vision, mission, and values, just so we're aligned. And so when we're talking to people, they know exactly what it is for us. So
Yeah.
we can align. Because I did it for Deal Buddy the other day, and I was like, oh, that I'm going to use that. That makes
Yeah.
sense to use that in every conversation, right?
Yeah. 100%. We should have that ready to go. So yeah, you and I should sit down and document that together.
Yep.
So we won't do that in a recording, but we can sit down and maybe by the end of the week. Do you reckon
Yep.
we could have that done? Maybe we
Yeah.
can report back when we record on Friday.
Yep. Yep. Sure. Yeah.
Cool. Let's do it. No time like the present, mate.
Yeah. And so, mate, where is your head on,
On my shoulders.
drunk, sustained, like obviously growing the business, and we can see that things are going to start, it's always going to be developing SixSides. So,
Yep.
I've read a lot about using offshore workers and, things like that to reduce the cost of, development costs here in Australia. Like wages are huge, right? Where's your head on that? Where's your head around that?
So it's funny you bring this up. I promise this wasn't coordinated or prearranged. But in one of my other businesses, I have been researching, and we will soon be hiring someone from the Philippines full time to work on this project.
Okay.
Now, the reason we're doing this, like the project does not, or that business does not generate nearly enough revenue at the moment to afford hiring someone onshore in any capacity, like even a junior, the most junior of juniors we could not afford at the moment in that business.
Okay.
And, but hiring someone that is supposedly fairly advanced in the Philippines is within our budget. So that's something that we're doing, and I'm really excited to see like how does that actually go.
And how did you go through that process?
So to be clear, it is in the still planning stages.
Okay.
So we have not reached out to anybody yet.
Sure.
We have not interviewed. We haven't actually hired, all of that. So it could all go to shit and be really hard and awful, and we hate it and we just scrap the whole thing, right? That could still happen. But the work that has happened so far to plan out was talking with ChatGPT of, okay, hey, this is a situation that we're in. This is our rough budget. How much, what could we get for this, and how would we go about it? And then it came back and suggested, okay, cool. Philippines is probably a good option given our time zone and their proclivity with English, or their they have decent English levels.
Yep.
Clearly, I don't, because I don't know the right word to use there.
We're all learn.
So yeah, sat down, talked with it for a while, put in some numbers, got some feedback, and then it suggested, okay, why don't you look at this particular site? I think it was called onlinejobs.ph.
Okay.
And so I looked at that, ran a bunch of searches. In this other business, we're also using Laravel and Vue.js. And so I punched in those, and then it brought me up, there were 50, 100 candidates or something like that all might have been suitable. Lots of different filters, things like that you can put in. And we've got a few people that we have not yet reached out to, but that are on my list. Once we get through the Denmark work with SixSides, I'm then going to spend probably a week or two focused on this other business, so that I can help try and, put some fuel on the fire for that one and get someone up and running and working on that project, because it's just not at a point that it, that it makes sense for me to be working on it.
Gotcha.
Hopefully that makes sense.
And what business is that, through Atlas, or is it through?
No, it's a separate one that I don't really want to talk about. We don't need to get into it on the show, but it's just, it's not Atlas at all. It's a completely separate side business. And I say all of this knowing, like, it's quite interesting and maybe a little hypocritical that like I run a software development agency within Australia. If you're out there listening to this and you want some onshore talent in the Laravel, Vue, React Native, Expo space, I'd love to have a conversation with you. There'll be links for everything in the show notes, right? But
Yeah.
in some businesses, that is just not affordable,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
There's not enough revenue for it. There's no budget for it, etc. So this is an alternative model that I'm pursuing in another of my businesses.
Sure.
It is potentially something that we might want to think about for SixSides, right? And we have kind of talked off and on a little about this over the last like probably 6 weeks or so of episodes of wanting to have a chat about this. It might make sense for us in this really early stage where, you know, again, we can't like paying to have someone do some work onshore for, you know, a week and a half or something like that took half of our war chest, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
We
yeah.
can't afford to spend a lot on development and we are bootstrapping. And so it's not like you and I each have 100 grand that we can drop into this thing. At least I certainly don't. So, you know, that might be something that we look to do. And
Sure.
if this goes well in this other business, then potentially that's a playbook that we can repeat
Sure.
for SixSides, right?
So we did get a referral from someone, I can't remember his name, I have to have a look at it, where they will find the person, source the person, and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. I think that was from Sri Lanka.
Yeah, we did. So the reason I won't say their name was because like I checked them out. I never got back to them because like they didn't have a website. I couldn't find them on like LinkedIn
Yeah,
or
gotcha.
anything like that. I was just getting real like,
Yeah, gotcha.
who the
Yeah,
heck
okay.
is this person that I'm going to trust with this process? So
Sure. Okay.
that's why I never
Sure.
went back to them.
Sure. And then Roman gave us one as well. And I think that was out of the Philippines where they'll do a lot of the sourcing as well. I think we should
Oh,
check them out
okay.
as well. I'll find out what that is from Roman.
Great. Well, that would be really handy
Yep.
across both businesses.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll ask him. But yeah, like I think it does make sense, right? Like we are not funding, right? We don't have, even if we did, we're able to put in 1,000, 100,000 each.
Yeah.
That's carrying a wage. That's only, that's if we pay someone $150,000, we can't afford that. That's $10,000 a month that we're paying
Yeah.
a developer. Like,
Yep.
like that's a lot, right?
Software is very expensive. Yeah.
When you don't think about, like, if let's just say you hire one developer, then you and I work full time, maybe we're 120, paying a developer that's more than us, you're looking at, what's that, 390 a year just in salaries.
Yeah.
That's
Then super
$30,000 a
expenses.
month
Yep.
just to support 3 people in a business. And $390,000 a year in software is a growing business, and it's hard to get there, right?
Yeah.
I just don't think you have a choice, right? Like as
Yeah.
long as you know what you're doing, give them the right support. Yeah, it's I think it's smart. Like we don't have to throw money away, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't see it as like, certainly there are advantages. And again, this is where maybe I'll put on my Atlas hat. Like there are definitely advantages of working onshore with onshore talent, the subject matter expertise and like the shared experience, within the Australian market and the way things work here, and typically sharing a very strong amount of like English skill.
Yeah.
That certainly helps.
Yeah.
Being able to go meet someone and shake their hand, like that's a really big bonus as well. There's a lot of things that you get out of hiring onshore software developers, but if you can't afford it, it's a moot point, right?
Yeah.
So,
but then I also think there's part of it, if you do it the right way and ethically and not trying to actually just, what's it called? Take advantage of a different class of people, different society. I think that as long as you do the right thing and you're trying to upskill and do it for the longer term, I think that's really beneficial too. So, and I think ethically we're both the same, ethically aligned. So, I think it's
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
certainly not looking to rip anybody off.
No.
It's an amazing opportunity for us that we do have access just in terms of how our economies work and the strength of the currencies and things like that. Like, what an awesome opportunity for us. And similarly, if you are a good employer and are paying well, then what a
Mm.
great opportunity for someone, that's in a different economy and has
Yeah.
presumably lower expenses and, cost of living and all of that. Like, it does work both ways. So I got to say, when I went to Bali just a couple of weeks ago, and that felt, at times, it felt a bit gross because of how appreciative some of the local people there were, and it just kind of felt like we were put on a pedestal. It's like, oh, thank you so much, sir, and da da da, and it was just like, oh, hey, I'm just like you. Like,
You do
it's
know you
different
look like a
economies.
you do know you look like a Buddha with your bald head.
Yeah, yeah. A few people came up to rub my head. I thought that was a bit funny. No,
Yep.
but it just, like, that sort of thing,
Yep.
I
But
do
that's
not
customer
like
service.
at all.
That's a holiday destination. That's where they that's just that's just a
Yeah, it felt more than that, and
yep.
I didn't like that, and Nicole similarly didn't.
Yep, sure.
It was just like, so I'm quite attuned to that type of thing, and if we were to hire anyone offshore, we would need to make sure that it's not like every message is yes sir, no sir. Like, I don't want any of that bullshit. Like, it's, yeah, I don't know. Just my
Sure.
own personal thing.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want any of
Sure.
that.
Sure, fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense. I agree with that. So
Yeah. So
um
anyway, that too is an evolving conversation we
yep.
can keep coming back to.
We've got a couple of minutes to go, mate. What do you got on next week? How's for the rest? So this week. So we're doing this on Monday this week.
So this week, I'll be going through looking at the getting the app, issuing out any updates that might need to go to it. Even though it's currently in review, we can still issue like real-time updates to the app, which is really handy. So going through, just making sure that everything's 100%, or adding new features like I talked about earlier. I
Yep.
also want to do a test run with some people in my in my development network.
Yep.
So shout out to the PHP Australia Slack if you're out there.
No,
That's right. That's the thumbnail.
that's a gang sign for PHP.
Anyway, so I might reach out to some of those people and just ask them, hey, can you check out the app? Let me know if you encounter any issues, whatever. Just give this thing the best chance at succeeding as possible.
Sure.
Beyond that, mate, honestly, probably not a whole lot. Just kind of now getting back into the flow of normal work and working on stuff for clients under Atlas, etc.
Sure.
What about you?
So we're starting to move into business development phase. So I'll start picking that back up again. I've got I think I spoke about this before, where I'm going to go to conferences, bigger ones, and the ones that are being run around now, do an assessment, generate a report, and send it back to them. So I've got one of them coming up at the beginning of September. So I spoke to them last week. They're going to issue me a delegate pass, which is a really big conference here in Brisbane, actually, in another industry. So
awesome.
I'm going to start doing that, reaching out. I'm starting to use Deal Buddy to help me plan out. Oh my gosh, Melanie's doing everything here at the moment.
We need to get you a separate office.
I don't know what she's doing. Anyway. Is living her life. So I'm starting to plan out. There's a couple of conferences that I can see that I've set for 2026. I've got a list to start reaching out to them. But there's also the challenge. It's the way lead generation and marketing is going is we're moving from, there's a shift from digital back to in-person again.
Okay.
Because there's so much online content generated and people are starting to they're going to start not being trustworthy of who contacts them because of agents and things like that.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to switch back to doing cold calls, or meet them in person so people can build trust again. I feel like that's the direction we're going. So I got to take that into account of what we're doing.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep. Yep.
You will have to give us an update on where you're at with the meetup, like of founders that you're talking
Yes,
about with Roman.
we haven't. We've been waiting for the for SixSides to get to a
Yeah.
point where we can start doing it. But I think we're at a point we can do that. So
Yeah.
I talked to
Maybe you
Roman
want to
this
run
week.
it in September or something.
Yeah, we'll do it in the beginning of September. I'll
Yeah.
talk to Roman this week around that. And then we were going to run a case study. We're going to run this as a living, breathing business case for growing community through SixSides. Yeah.
Hey, that's awesome. I'm
Yep.
excited.
Awesome.
Cool. Okay.
All right.
Well, why don't we wrap it up there then? We've done it. We finished before 10. So
brilliant.
Thank you very much if you're out there listening. We can see that you are. We've had a run of like decent listenerships over the last few episodes. So hopefully we keep that coming. Leave us a review and a rating. We will check those at the start of next week's episode. So we'll put that in. So if you want to get your name read out, now's the time. Jump in. And I guess we'll see you next week. You can find me at Mitch Dab in all the places. Gavin, where can people find you?
On LinkedIn, Gavin Ty, Tye.
That's the one. Perfect.
Yep.
All
Awesome,
right.
mate.
Have
well
a good
done
week.
once again on the app,
Yes.
mate. Well done.
Thank you. All right. We'll catch you all next week.
See ya. Bye.